हेलो दोस्तों, एस के आई चैनल में आप सभी का स्वागत है। कृपया मेरे चैनल को लाइक कीजिए, अपने दोस्तों के साथ शेयर कीजिए और हाँ, सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें।
Science Class 6th Chapter 7 Getting to Know Plants. Go outside and observe all the plants around you. Figure 7.1. Do you see that some plants are small and some very big, while some are just patches of green on the soil? Some have green leaves, while some other have reddish ones. Some have huge red flowers, some have tiny blue ones, while some have none. We do see a variety of plants existing all around us. Near our homes, in the school ground, on the way to school, in the market, and in garden, isn't it? Let us to get to know the different parts of any plant. This will help us understand the difference between the plants of different kinds. Can you label the stem, branch, roots, leaf, flower, and fruit of plant shown in figure 7.1? Color the parts of the plant. Figure 7.1 Herbs, shrubs, and trees. Activity 1. Look closely at the stem and the branches. First, plant much smaller than you. Second, plant that are about your size. Third, plants which are much taller than you. Feel their stem and try to bend them gently to see if they are tender or hard. These are parts of plant: root system, root, leaves, stem, branches, little branches, flowers. Nature walk. Table 7.1 Categories of plants. Plant name, column height, column 2 green, tender, thick, hard, column 3 where do the branches appeared, at the base of the stem, higher up on the stem, column 4 category of the plant. Tomato, column short, green, yes, tender, yes. The category of plant herb. Mango, very tall, thick, yes, hard, higher wisdom, yes. Category of the plant. Tree, lemon, about my height, hard, yes, at the base of the stem, yes. Shrub, category of the plant. Shrub. Take care that the stem does not break. Hug the tall plants to see how thick their stems are. We also need to notice where the branches grow in some plants, close to the ground or up on the stem. We will show good group of all plants we observed in table 7. Some examples are shown. You can fill the column 1. Column 1 and column 2 and column 3 of for many more plants. Fill column 4 later after studying the sections. Based on this characteristic, most of the plants can be classified into 3 categories: herbs, shrubs, and trees. And the example of which is shown in figure 7.3. A is herb, B is shrub, and C is tree. Herb, shrub, tree. The plants with green and tender stems are called herbs. They are usually short and may not have many branches. Figure 7.3 A. Some plants develop branches near the base of the stem. The stem is hard but not very thick. Such plants are called shrubs. Figure 7.3 B. Some plants are very tall and have hard and thick stem. The stems have branches in the upper part and much above the ground. Such plants are called trees. Figure 7.3 C. Based on the above characteristic, can you now classify the plants listed on by you and complete the column 4 in table 7.1? The plants with the weak stems that cannot stand upright but spread on the ground are called creepers, while those that take support and climb up are called climbers. And these are different from the herbs and shrubs and trees. Perhaps there are some plants in our school or at our house that you take care of. Write down the names of any 2, 3 shrubs, herbs, or creepers growing in our houses or school. 7.2 Stem. Observe closely the stems of different plants around you. Note down different structures, parts borne by the stem. Compare the observation with that of your friends. What do you find? A stem bear leaves, branches, buds, flowers, and fruits. Activity 2. We would require a glass, water, red, a blue ink, and soft stem. Pour water to fill 1/3 of the glass. Add a few drops of red and blue ink to the water. Cut the base of the stem and put it in a glass as shown in 7.6. Observe the setup. Does the color appear in the stem? You will find that the color rises in the stem if this is kept up for longer period. The color. These are creepers that spread on the ground. These are creepers. Or climbers which climb with the support of any plants or in the stick. Figure 7.6. Stem in a glass with a colored water appears in the veins of the leaves also. How do you think the color reached there? From this activity, we see that the stem helps in the upward movement of the water. The water and the minerals go to the leaves and the other plants parts attached to the system. Figure 7.7. Water moves up the stem and reaches leaves. And last view of the open end of the stem. Leaf. 7.3. Leaf. Observe the leaf of some plants around you and draw them in your notebook. All the leaves of same size and color? How are leaves attached to the stem? The part of the leaf by which it is attached to the system is called petiole. The broad green part of the leaf is called lamina. Figure 7.8. Can you identify these parts of the leaves in plants around you? Do all the plants have petioles? Figure 7.8. A leaf. This whole part is called lamina. This is stem. This is petiole. This part is petiole, which attaches with the stem. Let us to know the leaf better by taking its impression. If you thought that leaves cannot shine, here is an activity which will make you think again. Activity 3. Put a leaf under a white sheet of paper or a sheet in your notebook. Hold it in a place as shown in figure 7.9. Hold your pencil tip sideways and rub it on the portion of the paper having the leaf below. Did you get an impression with your some lines in it? Are they similar to those on the leaf? These lines are the leaves. These lines on the leaf are called veins. Do you see the prominent lines in the middle of the leaf? This is called midrib. Design made by the veins in a leaf is called leaf venation. If the design is net-like on both sides of midrib, the venation is called reticulate. Figure 7.10a. In the leaves of grass, you might have seen the veins are parallel to one another. This is called parallel venation. Observe the venation in as many leaves you can without removing them from the plants, though the button is right. This is the midrib center of the leaf. These are veins. Sideways like structure. Leaf of veins, venation, reticulate A reticulate and the parlor. These are called reticulate, these are called parlor veins. Names of some plants having reticulate and parlor venation. Shall we now find out some of the functions of leaf? Activity 4. We will require a hub, 2 transparent polythene bags and thread. Do this activity during the daytime on a sunny day. Use a healthy, well-watered plant that has been growing on the sun. Enclose a leafy branch of the plant in a polythene cover and tie up its mouth as shown in figure 7.11. The mouth of the another empty polythene cover and keep it also in the sun. After a few hours, observe the inner surface of the cover. What do you see? Are there any droplets of water? How do you think they got there? Don't forget to remove the polythene bag after the activity. Water comes out of the leaves in the form of vapors by the process called transpiration. Plants releases a lot of water into air through this process. We will learn about this in chapter 14. Why did we tie a cover around the leaves? Would we have seen the water? What does a leaf do? Transparent bag in transparent polythene the leaves. The water evaporates if we have not tied a polythene cover. What makes the water appear on the polythene bag? In chapter 5, we notice the water changing into different forms in the sum of our activities. Can you think of this and name the process that makes water drops appear on the polythene cover? The leaf also make another function. Let us study this. Activity 5. We would require a leaf, sprit, a beaker, test tube, burner, water, watch glass and iodine solution for the activity. Take a leaf in a test tube and pour sprit to completely immerse the leaf. What does a leaf contain? This is leaf, this is beaker, this is stand, this is a burner, iodine solution. Since the activity involves the use of a sprit and heating it, it is right as demonstrated by a teacher in the class. Now place the test tube in a beaker half filled with water. Heat the beaker till all the green colors from the leaf comes out into a sprit in the test tube. Take out the leaf carefully and wash it in water. Place it on a watch glass and pour some iodine solution over it. What do you observe? Compare your observation with those done in chapter 2. When you tested food for the presence of different nutrients, does this mean that leaf has starch in it? Chapter 2, we saw that the slice of the raw potato also shows the presence of starch. The potato gets this starch from their leaves and store it. Leaves prepare their food in the presence of sunlight and green colored substance present in them. For this, they also use water and carbon dioxide. This process is called photosynthesis. Oxygen is given out in this process. The food prepared by leaves ultimately gets stored in the different parts of the plants. We have seen that the stem supplies leaf with water. The leaf uses the water to make food. The leaf also loses water through transpiration. How do the stem and leaf get water? That is where the roots come in. Figures 7.4 root. Look at figure 7.13. What do you think is watering that plant correctly? Pahli or bhujo? Why? Watering the plants. Which of plant is in the soil? Let us learn more about this part 4 from the following activities. Activity 6. You would require 2 pots, some soil, khurpi for digging, blade or a pair of scissors and water. The activity is to done in the group of 4 to 5 students. Select 2 plants of same kind from an open ground and dig them out with roots. Take care that the roots do not break. Plant one of them in a pot A, Figure 7.14. Cut out the roots from the other. Cut out the roots from the other. A 7.14a. This with roots. This is a pot with a plant with a root system. This is a plant with a without root system. The other plant from the other plant. Plant it in a pot B. Figure 7.14b. Water them regularly. Observe the plants after a week. Are both plants are healthy? Both the plants are watered regularly, but one is without roots. Isn't it? Does this activity help you understand an important functions of the root? Let us do an activity to study another functions of root. Activity 7. We would require seeds of gram and maize, cotton wool, katori bowl, and some water. Take 2 katoris bowl. Place some wet cotton in them. Put 3 or 4 seeds of the gram in one and maize in the other. Keep the cotton wet by sprinkling water every day until the sprouts have grown into the young plants. After a week, try to spread the young plants from the cotton. Figure 7.15. Young plants grown on cotton. Wash it easily to separate the cotton from the roots. Why? In activity 6, we could not pull out the plants from the soil. Right? We dug them out. This is because roots help in holding the plant firmly to the soil. They anchor the plant to the soil. You have seen that there are different kinds of stem and leaves. Do the roots also has a variety? Let us to find out. Activity 8. Study figure 7.16 A and B carefully. Now look at the roots of the gram plants. You have pulled out from the cotton in the previous activity. Do they look like the roots shown in figure 7.16 or those in figure 7.16b? How about the roots of maize plant? Write gram or maize in the same blank space in the figure after matching the roots with the figure. In what way are the roots of the gram and maize similar? In what way are they different? There seem to be 2 different types of roots, isn't it? Are there also other types of roots? Let us find out. Root of go to an open ground where many wild plants are growing. Dig out a few, wash the soil of the root and observe them. Do you find that all of them have either the kind of roots shown in figure 7.17a or figure 7.17b? (7.17a) taproot. This is a fibrous root. For the roots of kind shown in figure 17.a, the main root is called taproot. The smaller roots are called lateral root. The plant with roots are shown in figure 7.17p do not have main root. All roots seem similar. These are called fibrous roots. Separate the plant you have collected 2 groups. In group A, put those that have tap roots and group B, those that have fibrous roots. Look at the leaves of the plants in a group A. What kind of venation do they have? What kind of venation do you see for the plants of group B? Do you notice that the leaf venation and the type of the root in the plants are related in an interesting way? In a table 7.2, can you match the type of leaf venation and type of the root for small plants you have studied in our activities so far? We have learned that the roots absorb water and minerals from the soil, and stem conducts this to leaves and other parts of the plant. The leaves prepare food. These foods travel through the stem and is stored in different parts of the plant. We eat some of these roots like carrot, radish, sweet potato, turnip, and tapioca. We also eat many other parts of the plants where food is stored. Do you agree that the stem is like a street with two-way traffic? Figure 7.1718. The write the names of the material that goes up the stem and that which comes down. Stem as a two-way traffic street. In the next session, we will study about the structure of the flower. Flower 7.5 flower. You shown three branches of roses in figure 7.19 A, B and C. Which one of will have you the best to recognize the plant? A leafless branch, B branch with leaves, C branch with leaves and flowers. Which color do you see for the flower in figure 7.19C? Are all the plant color flowers colorful? Have you ever seen flowers on grass, wheat, maize, mango, guava? Are those brightly colored? Let us study a few flowers. Activity 10. We would require one bud and two fresh flowers. Each one of the following: datura, china rose, mustard, brinjal, ladyfinger, gulmohar. Also a blade, a glass slide, or a sheet of paper, or a magnifying glass and water. Observe figure 7.20. Carefully look at the prominent parts of the open flower. There are the petals. Different flowers have petals of different colors. Where do you think the petals are in the closed buds? Which is the most prominent bud in the bud? Part in the bud. Do you see that this part is made of a small leaf-like structure? They are called sepals. The deck is a flower and observe petals and sepals. Now answer the following question. How many sepals does it have? Are they joined together? What are the colors of petals and the sepals? How many petals does the flower have? Are they joined to one another or they separate? Do the flowers with joined sepals have petals that have separate or they also joined together? Fill the table based on the observation of the whole class. Table 7.3 and observation to this table. From the field trip to locally where there are plants with flowers. Fill the last two columns later. To see the inner parts of the flower clearly, you have to cut it open. If its petals are joined, for example in the datura, the other bell-shaped flowers, the petals have to be cut lengthwise and spread. That the inner part can be seen clearly. Remove the sepals and petals to see the other parts. Study the figure 7.22. Carefully compare your flower with the illustration and identify the stamens and pistils in your flower. Look at the figure 7.23 carefully. It shows different kinds of stamen present in different flowers. Can you recognize the two parts of the stamen in your flower? How many stamens are there in your flower? Draw one stamen and label in its part of it. Label its parts. A bell-shaped flower. Bell-shaped flowers. These are pistils, green color, stamens, cream color, anthers, yellow color. Parts of flower. These are anthers, upper part of the yellow color. This filament, cream color. Parts of stamen. The innermost part of the flower is called pistil. If you cannot see it completely, remove the remaining stamens. Identify the part of the pistil with the help of figure 7.24. The parts of pistil. This is pistil. Ovary, style, stigma. Draw any label diagram of the pistil of the flower. Activity 11. Let us now study the structure of ovary. It is a lowermost and swollen part of the pistil. We will cut this part to study what is inside. Look at figure 7.25 and A and B carefully to understand how to cut the ovary of the flower. Cutting an ovary, longitudinal cut and transverse cut. A longitudinal cut and B is transverse cut. Cut the ovary in two different ways as shown in figure 7.12 to prevent them from drying. Put a drop of water on each of two pieces of the ovary you have cut. Figure 7.26 in a structure of ovary, a longitudinal cut, a transverse cut. These are ovules. Observe the inner part of the ovary using a lens. Do you see some small bead-like structure inside the ovary? They are called ovules. Draw and label the inner part of the ovary in your notebook. Try to find out the names of as many as flowers as you can by asking the gardener or any other person. Remember not to pluck more flowers than you need. Based on what you have filled in 7.3, answer the following question. Do all the plants have sepals, petals, stamen and pistils? Are there flowers that do not have one or more of these? Are there flowers which have part other than this? Do you find any flowers which has no difference between sepals and petals? Do you find any flower in which the number of stamen is different from the number of petals? Do you now agree that structure of plant is not always the same? The number of sepals, petals, stamens and pistils may also be different in different flowers. Some of these parts may even be absent at times. We have studied some features and functions of leaves, stems and roots. We study the structure of different flowers. We will learn about the functions of flowers in higher classes. We will also learn about fruits in higher class. Keywords: climbers, conduct, creepers, fibrous roots, herbs, lamina, lateral roots, midrib, ovule, parlor venation, petal, petiole, photosynthesis, pistil, reticulate venation, sepal, shrubs, stamen, taproot, transpiration, trees, veins. Summary: the plants are usually grouped into herbs, shrubs, and trees based on their height, nature of the stem and branches. The stem bears leaves, flowers, and fruits. Leaf usually has petiole and lamina. The pattern of veins on the leaf is called venation. It can be reticulate or parallel. Leaves give out water vapors through the process of transpiration. Green leaves make their food by the process of photosynthesis using carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight. Roots absorb water and minerals from the soil. They also anchor the plant firmly in the soil. Roots are mainly of two types: taproot, fibrous root. The plant having leaves with reticular venation have taproot, while plants having leaves with parallel venation have fibrous root. The stem conveys water from the roots to leaves and other parts, and food from leaves to other parts of the plant. The parts of the flower are sepals, petals, stamen, and pistil.